Hello and welcome to day 26 of the Wholistic Fast. A couple of topics today. The first one, we're going to do a little refresher on the healing crises. I've just finished my bath because if you've been following the fast, we are all in healing crises at this point. That's, explained over and over and over again in the past 25 days. So I won't go into it too much, but now is the time to really encourage the healing crises, to remind ourselves of things that are coming up, whether they be physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual, that we are encouraging the body to release the emotions, to present the suppressed word, emotion, and thought that becomes memory, bringing it into our awareness. It's the whole point of the exercise. So now is a good time to remind ourselves, this is what we're doing here. We're allowing ourselves to truly heal from the inside out. This is so important to realize. So there's many, many ways that we can do it. Do the bathing as much as possible, the detox bathing. In previous days, there is the recipe. I keep that recipe. That's like a traditional Ayurvedic detox bath. And I keep that in a container in my bathroom to use. I don't use that every single day with the mustard and the basil. But when I want a really good detox, I do that. Quite often I use just the salt and the baking soda with other essential oils, whatever essential oils I choose on that day. So, but today, and at this point in the fast, it would be prudent to really get serious about some detox bathing. Make sure you're getting well hydrated. That's really important to detoxification. And, with the best quality spring water that you can find. And be gentle with yourself. Get really, really good sleep. Make sure you're in bed on, at a really good time, and sleep in when you can. Take naps in the afternoon. Do whatever, fit that sleep in wherever you can. It's important to the process. So at the end of this post, you will read that I'm introducing some yogic philosophy. So I do that because everything that I teach, everything that I share with people is what I have experienced. I don't recommend anything or share anything that I haven't done myself. So the introduction, we're going to start going into some more spiritual aspects now into the remaining part of the fast. We'll still pop in with some physical stuff and some emotional stuff, but we are going to make that transition from the mental body into the spiritual aspects of life. And a couple of, there's two major things that have been very influential in my adult life. In my childhood, right up until I left home when I was 16 years of age, and right up until then, I was in a Christian environment. My parents were devout Christians, and I felt deep love, and still do to this day, this deep love and deep connection to that being known as Jesus the Christ, or Yeshua ben Joseph. And I have, I'll go into that probably later into the fast about that. But that was my influence, my spiritual influences as a child. But then as an adult, I was seeking and really looking at all different aspects of spirituality. And I came across the teachings, the Kriya yoga teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda. And the teachings were given to him through the Kriya lineage, were given to him through his guru, Sri Yukteswar, who I've had a very deep kinship with. And beyond that, the Satguru is Mahavatar Babaji. Now, I was in a very, very traditional setting yogic setting, learning about Kriya and practicing the Kriya principles and physical disciplines for 9 years. And that was very influential. I learned a lot in those years, and I still honor that tradition today. Although I don't believe in, well, it's not a belief. I just do not restrict myself to one form of teaching. So that's really important. And I write it on the post. Anything that I share is not about dogma or fundamentalism or belief. It's not about belief. It's about whatever we resonate with that takes us into that next level. And every time we get into a new level, there's an interesting thing that happens. We have to release any attachment to it. If there's attachment that grows from, and there often is, I mean, in my experience, there's always been some form of attachment. Belief is an attachment. So it's always good to remember that whenever something assists us or someone assists us in this process of becoming more aware of life, more aware of love, we have to watch that that attachment and be willing to release it and let it go. So I think that's all I'll say about that. Later on, I'm going to talk about other influences that I had, spiritual influences that I had in my life, really, really tremendous. I've had tremendous teachers. The most, I mean, I've been so, I've just been so honored to have recognized and studied with such tremendous teachers. And I give, so much gratitude for my willingness and for the willingness of the teachers who came into my life, and many of them stayed for many, many, many years, decades. Drunvalo Melchizedek, we've talked about Drunvalo. Drunvalo is a great teacher. He's not actively teaching anymore, but he's still doing he's still present on the planet. So that presence in itself is a blessing to the world. And yeah, look at the post, read the post. It's all there. I recommend reading Autobiography of a Yogi. I have the ISBN secured for the book that I've been working on for, I don't even know how long. I don't even know when it will ever get completed, of Autobiography of a Yogini. And that's way off in the distant future. So we'll see how that, I'm waiting for the next phase. I don't have the inspiration for the next phase of that book. So although I am very disciplined about writing, I also require the timing to present itself, that appropriate timing. Timing has been something that I've paid close attention to in my life. So I'm not being undisciplined, and I'm not being negligent in my writing of that book. I'm just waiting for it to come through. So that's it for today. I am getting a little more comfortable with these videos, and one of my children said to me that he looked at some of my videos and he said, "Oh, that's very YouTube retro," which made me laugh. And I understand that it seems very not polished, and that is purposeful. And the fact that I'm not reading, I'm ad-libbing, I have a topic, I just look at the, I look at the line, I look at the topic of what I'm going to talk on, and then it's ad-lib. And that's also very purposeful. I don't want to be polished. I want to be in the moment with what wants to come through. And I realize that takes practice. And I realize that that it is getting, I am feeling a little bit more flow as it, I know that it's being recorded, and we have to get through all of these these emotional resistances to being heard, to how we're going to be perceived, all of these things. And I've done that I did that a long time ago, but this is different when it is just me and the camera. It's a little bit, I don't know, it just has a different flavor to it. So I'm just getting used to it. So thank you so much for watching these videos, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take that bath.